Okay guys, so this is the first lecture in our this series of video lectures on inorganic chemistry. So let's get started. So our first chapter is advanced part of chemical bonding. So chemical bonding, we have actually discussed some basic part in our previous set of video lectures on inorganic chemistry. So this is, in this lecture we are seeing advanced part of chemical bonding. Okay, so first let us see the classification of a bond. So classification of bond, the bond can be classified into two types. One, we have seen that either as a chemical bond or as a chemical force. Okay, so chemical bond is obviously stronger than chemical force, which is a weak force of attraction. Okay, this exists between atoms or ions. Atoms or ions, and this exists between molecules or noble gases. Okay, so here bond dissociation energy of a chemical bond is greater than 42 kilojoule per mole, and here bond dissociation energy is less than 42 kilojoule per mole. Okay, so here in covalent bond we can write that it can be classified into three subcategories. One is covalent, then we have metallic, and then we have ionic. Okay, so this exists between, the covalent bond exists between non-metal and non-metal. So it is a non-metal bond. It generally exists between, rather it is fair to say that it generally exists between non-metal and non-metal. Metallic bond generally exists, or rather it actually exists between metal, and ionic bond generally exists between metal and non-metal. Okay, whereas in chemical force it can be further classified into either hydrogen bond or van der Waals force of attraction. So hydrogen bond generally has energy between 8 to 42 kilojoule per mole, and van der Waals force of attraction has less than bond dissociation energy, which is less than 8 kilojoule per mole. Okay, so we have seen that in covalent bonding it can be further classified into two categories based on sharing and based on polarity. Based on sharing, we can classify it into two subcategories based on equal sharing, based on unequal sharing. So based on equal sharing we can have either single, double or triple bond, and based on unequal sharing we can either have covalent bond, or rather coordinate bond, not covalent, coordinate bond, which is dative sigma bond, and also we can have back bond, which is dative pi bond. Okay, and based on polarity again we can classify it into two categories. One is a covalent bond can be polar or it can be non-polar. So polar means in the covalent bond we have covalent bond between different atoms, and non-polar covalent bond we have between same atoms. Okay, next, in a hydrogen bond we can classify the hydrogen bond. So which can be ion dipole. First category is ion dipole hydrogen bond. Then we can have dipole dipole, so this is not under hydrogen bond, this should be under van der Waals forces of attraction. So van der Waals forces of attraction can exist between between ion and a dipole. It can exist between dipole dipole. This is a type of van der Waals force of attraction. Next we have between ion and induced dipole. Next we have dipole induced dipole. And then we have instantaneous induced dipole. We have instantaneous induced and induced dipole, which is also known as London dispersion forces. London dispersion forces. Okay, so in a hydrogen bond, for example, if we take the example of hydrogen bond, then we can write that it can also be of two types, which is first is ion dipole and second one is dipole dipole. Okay, and hydrogen bond is generally, other hydrogen bonding generally occurs due to the H atom being attached with more electronegative element. It occurs due to H atom attached with more electronegative elements such as fluorine, oxygen, nitrogen, and sometimes with chlorine as well. Okay, so with this we come to the end of this lecture. In the next lecture we'll be seeing hydrogen bonding in more detail. So till then, good luck and goodbye.